Time to update our smart model of the mind, if only slightly. Refining models, or any of our beliefs for that matter, in the light of new information is an ongoing process. It's the nature of models, how they work. To be tuned, overhauled, or if incoming information makes the model no longer workable, then create a new model that does fit the facts. It's all good.
Be smart.
As you may recall from our first video in this series, we pictured the conscious mind as an app at the bottom of the screen that represented all the facets of the unconscious mind. It was meant to illustrate the relationship of the relatively limited conscious mind compared to the vast resources of the unconscious mind.
Be alert.
The symbol for the conscious mind was a red traffic light. The red signified the role of the conscious mind in filtering suggestions to the unconscious mind. According to our model, the light would switch from red to green when the mind was overloaded, bored, or distracted, allowing influential suggestions to reach the unconscious mind. But the results of research by Daniel Gilbert, Roman Tafarodi, and Patrick Malone from the Department of Psychology at the University of Texas at Austin, when applied to our model of the mind, suggests that we need an update. Their article, which you can read for yourself by following the link in the description below, indicates that a better representation for the symbol for the conscious mind would not be red, but green. Experiments seem to indicate by default suggestions have continuous unrestricted access to the unconscious mind unless the conscious mind actively chases down suggestions and vets them. That is to say, that if the conscious mind isn't paying attention or is interrupted, then suggestions rush in. Hello, advertisers.
Be smart.
Our minds are designed by default to believe everything we see, hear, or are told, unless we take the time and energy to examine the validity of all incoming information, unless we vet every commercial, every sales pitch, every political speech, every news report, every social media posting, unless we adopt a critical view of all the information that we are exposed to, all of which takes time and energy, which nobody really has. Remember that while our unconscious collective has tremendous abilities to multitask, the processing power of our conscious mind is attention limited to about 5 to 8 items, after which it becomes overwhelmed. I know, it's confusing.
Be smart.
We live in the information age, in which we are deluged with information at a rate that our minds can't handle. There is no time to question everything you see and hear, especially given the unceasing flood of digital news and advertisements that come at us from every media direction. Is it any wonder that people believe so many strange and crazy things? At some point, it becomes an issue of who do you trust as a source of information? Who do you trust to tell you the truth?
Be smart.
Already you can see where this is going to be a source of problems. Factions will vie for your trust, and many of those factions are the same nasty entities we excoriated in the previous video, leaders, deceivers, cheaters.
Be smart.
Don't we have norms of credibility that we pretty much share culture-wide? For example, although magicians give the appearance of defying the laws of nature, they're really just entertainers with very polished skills at creating illusions. Nobody believes they're doing real magic. Generally speaking, perhaps we can conclude that across the culture, there are many things we believe that are true.
Be smart.
While that may seem a reasonable thing to assume, actually, there are a lot of things people accept as true that are not. As Abraham Lincoln said, you can fool all the people some of the time, and some of the people all the time, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. Except there is no evidence that Lincoln ever said that. The earliest documentation that refers to the quote dates back to the mid-1880s, but there's no evidence when or where he spoke the words, or even if he actually said them. The best we can say is that they are attributed to him, or it sounds like something Lincoln would say. Let's take a short true-false quiz to find out. True or false? Everybody in the days of Christopher Columbus believed the world was flat.
Be smart.
False. Educated people from about the 3rd century BC knew the earth was round. Aristotle had something to say about that long before Columbus sailed.
Be smart.
True or false? Albert Einstein was bad at math when he was a kid in school. False. Before Einstein was 15, he had mastered differential and integral calculus. It should come as no surprise that Albert was one of the smart kids.
Be smart.
True or false? People use only 10% of their brain capacity. False. And lucky it is that it's not true. We don't carry these big brains around with us for nothing. We use all of our brain capacity, and we should be severely hobbled without it. True or false? Bats are blind and only know where they are by echolocation using their ears. False. Bats are not blind. They have small eyes that are sensitive in conditions that humans don't see well. That is, pitch darkness. Their eyes don't have the sharpness or color perception that we have, but they don't need it. They do use echolocation to aid their way through darkness, but they can see as well. There are many, many more examples easily found in a search on the internet. So you can see that even the most commonsensical of all of us may believe in some things that aren't true.
Be smart.
None of the above beliefs are particularly harmful, but the problem is, as 18th century writer Voltaire put it, anyone who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities. Therein lies the danger.